We are live. All right, all right, all right. Welcome. Thank you guys so much for
Yes.
your patience. Technical difficulties, okay? So, really sorry about the delay, but glad to be here nonetheless. So, excited for tonight's conversation. I'm Lachelle, also known as America's Supermom, mother of 15 children, and I'm a TV producer with Zandra TV Network, amongst other things. But I'm really excited to talk about branding tonight. So I am going to yield the mic over to you, Anita.
Wow. So I'm feeling like I'm America's Supermom because I got your shield over here on my background. Do y'all see that?
Yes. You're America's Supermom too.
Look, I can't feel. Look, ain't nowhere in the world I can feel them shoes, baby. I am not even trying. No, yeah, we need to move that right on over there, back over there. So look, I'm excited to be here. We have had a marvelous, wonderful. I mean, it's been a year, you all. Actually, it's been over a year.
Right.
It
Mhm.
has been an amazing journey, and I have enjoyed every minute of it. I am Anita Newsom. Um, I am a executive TV producer, international and Amazon best-selling author, and what I really love about the things that I get to do is build the kingdom, right? And I love doing that by helping women, entrepreneurs, CEOs, and nonprofits to rebrand, to find their purpose, their voice. And I'm just loving the fact that Michelle has done all of the above. And I am excited to get into this conversation tonight. What about you, Michelle?
Excited. So now the woman of the
Yeah.
hour, please
Woo,
take
woo,
some time to
woo.
introduce yourself.
See,
Yes, yes,
well, thank
yes.
you, ladies. Thank you, thank you. And I am Michelle Clarkson, executive leadership strategist, coach, and speaker. And I work with high achieving women who are experiencing burnout, disconnection, help them go from second guessing to being certain about who they are, hesitation to taking decisive actions, and from being someone who has potential to becoming undeniable in every area of her life. So I am just so excited to be here with you ladies tonight. And I just have so much gratitude for both of you because, like you said, it's been over a year. You know, March of 2025, there was an event that I said, okay, I am coming to this event because I had said no to so many several events that Lachelle had invited me to. And the reason why I was like, I have to go was one, because I had been saying no, but two, I was like, what is this event about? Getting branded. And I
Mm,
even reached out before I went and was like, Lachelle, should I even be coming to this? Because, you know, my business is not like really moving or doing anything. And she said, that is exactly why you need to be there. And you were exactly right. Because the one thing that most people don't even realize when you think and talk about branding, you think about that logo up there, or you think about what your colors are, or maybe some merch. Branding, you are your brand. You
absolutely.
are your brand, and it starts with you. And so I'm just so grateful and thankful that I attended that event because that really jump started me in my entrepreneurship journey to really get out here, be visible, have a presence, start doing things that I wasn't doing, really focusing on building those relationships, networking. So it has been one of the best things that I could have done for myself because everything just started happening after that.
Yes, yes.
Love that. Love that.
It's,
I think, the thing that just comes to mind for me is, what do you find is the most surprising thing about your journey? We kind of have anticipation around things, or, kind of talking ourselves out of things before we even get started. But what has surprised you the most about this journey?
well, the one thing that has surprised me the most about the journey is just the growth in myself, the identity shift that I have made from, when I first started, the one thing that I would say all the time is, oh, I'm just a coach. I'm not a coach. I'm a CEO running my own company.
Come on,
So
baby.
that identity shift of embracing who I am
Mm,
Yeah.
This isn't a hobby. I am focused on the mission. And so that was one of the biggest shifts in embracing that change of the identity shift. But then also watching my confidence grow. And I mean, anybody that knows me personally, they're like, your confidence grows. I have some confidence, but this just brought that confidence up there even more because I started doing things where I pushed myself and things that I wasn't really comfortable with before. Even though I'm a very outgoing person, I am the one that's always yapping. I wasn't the one that was putting myself out there from a visibility standpoint day to day on social media, going live, doing videos, sharing things about myself, allowing others to get to know me. And so that in itself was a change at first because I am kind of a very private person. But now it's like, hey, I have shown the world everything. I mean, I think I even posted a video before when I was sick. So it's like you have seen all phases and sides of me. And so that's the one thing, just that growth in embracing who you are, being your authentic self and not being afraid to just be you.
I love that. And we have Christy watching. Hey Christy, thanks so much for being
Christy.
here.
Hey, Kristen in Florida.
She's joining us from Florida. And anybody who's watching, feel free to put questions in the comments because, this is really all about spotlighting you, Michelle, and your journey. And a lot of people are where you were. They are just at that point where whether it's a job change or something going on personally, we all go through shifts within our identity. So,
Mhm.
really have enjoyed being able to take this journey with you. So, my next question, and then I'm going to yield the mic to Anita because you know me, I love asking questions.
Okay.
Um, what were some of the things that you felt you had to challenge yourself with? Because a lot of people, when they think about branding, it's like, okay, I'm just going to show up and just start being visible. But what were some of the other things that had to happen in order for you to build confidence around doing that?
Well, first of all, kind of going back to that identity, one, accepting that in this space that I am qualified to be doing what I'm doing. And so that acceptance of who you are so that you feel confident in putting yourself out there. Because spending 20 years in corporate leadership and then stepping into the entrepreneurship lane, they're two totally different things. And so
Mhm.
having a corporate mindset and switching that corporate mindset to an entrepreneurial mindset, that is a shift. And being able to see yourself in a different light. And then also the consistency, but making sure that you have those systems in place so
Mhm.
that you can grow. That's the thing. Because I mean, you can just post, but it's not just about posting. Like you need systems, you need to have a
Mhm.
strategy and all of those things in place. But it's the consistency that's going to get you where you want to be.
Love that. That is
Ooh,
so true.
ooh.
Hey,
We need to say that louder for the people in the back. But go
yeah.
ahead.
Okay, that part right there, what she just said.
Mhm.
Everybody needs to know more about that. Look, so one of the things, and I thought Lachelle was going to take my question right. I was like, oh, she's started talking about identity shift. When you said that phrase, it's something clicked. That's one of the things that I try to help, women especially do as well. Transitions, navigating through transitions. So,
Mhm.
so that identity shift, right, is can be very important. So I know you talked a little bit about your journey through doing that, but tell us also, how do you help your clients kind of work through that? Do you use your experience of going through that and doing that? How do you help them through that identity shift, and those transitions that they encounter?
Mhm. Well, one thing with the identity shift that some of my customers encounter is being transparent and being able to
Mm.
share my story of things that I have dealt with in life. Because this is an identity shift that I had to take in the entrepreneurial space, but there have been identity shifts that I've had to take in my life. So, the
Mhm.
Mm.
things that I help women with, as far as doubting themselves. I've had periods in my life where I doubted myself. I had periods in my life where I hesitated in who I was, so I wasn't taking those decisive actions. And I had those periods where I wasn't, working to my potential. So when you've walked in that lane, yes, you can teach things because awareness is the first thing of where you are, but being able to not just teach theory, but help them be able to
Mm.
see things through lived experiences. I think that's what really helps my customers along the journey because I have a 5 step process that I put together a framework on helping them get to the other side of becoming the version of the woman that she wants to be. But first, you have to know where you're trying to get to. Because if you don't know where you want to go, you can't get there. And whenever you're on a journey to become someone you've never been, there are going to be things that happen, things that you may have to get rid of, different mindset that you need to embrace, things that you maybe weren't used to doing, that you have to step out of your comfort zone and be able to trust yourself that you are capable, you are enough, and watch everything just unfold.
Oh my God, that is amazing. I love that. I love that, girl. So you went through all the phases of the Get Branded, right? We started with the challenge, 30-day challenge. You went to Get Branded in Action. Then I don't know, y'all help me out.
It was
Then
a
it
get
was
branded the next
Get
step, I
Branded.
think, after that.
And then the last was Get Branded, Get Paid. So through all of those, all of those phases that you went through, what is the one thing that really stuck out the most to you that helped you with your visibility, with your branding for you to, be where you are today?
I think I've said it, and I'm going to have to say it again. It's the consistency.
Mhm.
Mm,
It's the consistency. You can't really see a change overnight,
mm,
but if you're consistent, eventually you will yield the results that you're looking for. And that's just in anything. So it's really just that consistency in all the things that you all taught me, being able to implement those, but consistently do them over and over and over again. And the one thing with the visibility piece, sometimes when we start putting ourselves out there more, we get so concerned about followers or likes or comments and all those vanity metrics. And let me tell you something, none of that matters. So if you're someone that's watching and you are concerned about followers, likes, stop. None of that matters. It's all about that one person. If I can just touch
mm,
one person, then I've done my job. So that is the thing. Every day I show up, and it's funny because I have created this avatar in my mind that every day when I make a post or whatever, her name is Ashley. And so it's always when before I post something, I'm like, is this going to touch Ashley? Is this going to
mm.
lead her to a decision? And so it's that those pieces of that consistency that help to grow my brand. But in growing my brand, it grew my visibility. And then from there, like I said, things just started falling out of the sky. I'm like, how did this happen? Where did this person come from?
Who
And
did
that's
that?
just, that's just the thing. The consistency, you got to keep going. And even when you feel like giving up, because let me tell you
Mm,
something, there are days where things may not go the way you want them to be, but you just have to keep
okay.
going and remember why you are doing whatever it is that you're doing.
I
Because
love
it's
that.
bigger than me.
Yeah, I love that. We got somebody joining us, Marie from Ireland. So
Okay,
thank you,
Ireland.
Marie.
Hey, Marie.
Oh,
Good
Uh-huh.
Marie
to
International.
see you.
Not even sure what time it is there, but praise
Yes,
God, we're
thank
glad
you.
she's watching. But my
Yes,
question
welcome.
is, when we hear about consistency, because so many people struggle with that, should
Mhm.
I schedule this post and, what platform should I be on? Talk to us around the type of content. You mentioned, it's Ashley and you're thinking about, can Ashley use this?
Mhm.
How does that impact the content that you put out to be consistent with?
Yes. So one thing I really try to be intentional about making sure that every day when I'm posting and being consistent, that one, I'm highlighting what it is that I do and who I help. So being able to put content out there that showcases my work.
Mhm.
Also, being able to have a variety of different things that you do with your content and making sure that you are visible. And I'm sorry, you got to show your face, people. And along with showing your face, make a video, go live. That is what people need to see to be able to connect with you. Because if you're trying to gain visibility and you're working on your brand, people only buy from people that they know, like, and trust.
Mhm.
So you can post all you want to, but if they can't really see pieces of you, they don't get to learn you. And as you all taught me, everything is content. Everything is content. And especially in the area where I work in, working with women, I need for women to be able to see me in all areas of my life, whether
Mhm.
I'm at the gym, going out on a Friday night, at a networking event, doing things like this, but to be able to see that, okay, hey, I'm talking to you about coming from a place of disconnection or burnout, and there is another side that you can get to. She needs to be able to see that through me and how I walk. So that's also one of the things, too, to your point, Anita, as far as what do you put out there? You got to be transparent and
Mm.
be your authentic self. That's
I
it. The
love
key is
that.
authenticity. Yes. Yes.
That's so good because we can get in our head and think, we supposed to be wearing heels cooking dinner. You know what I'm saying?
We didn't
Nobody
do
is wearing
that.
no heels cooking dinner. But I'm just saying,
Yeah. This
we
ain't bad
get
for
this.
why.
Yes.
But
But you
we
can't.
get that in our head. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
have to do everything perfect. It has to be just right or it's not worth being done. So
Hmm.
I love how you mentioned that because there are different times that we show up differently. If
Mm.
we are just getting out of bed, we don't wake up like that, okay?
Yes.
With
Hmm.
makeup on and all this. So I think it's very important for people to understand the journey around,
Hmm.
being in a certain place at a certain time, dressed a certain way.
Oh,
That's all
yes.
part of the package. So I love
Hmm.
that. Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Presentation is everything. And that's one part also as you're growing your brand and being visible. Even though I talked about showing the different pieces of who you are,
Mhm.
presentation is everything. So if you're trying to grow your business, well, of course, I can't show up every day just not giving good energy or not presenting myself in a professional manner because all of those things matter. And when you're posting and things like that, you're posting to the world. Just like we
Mm.
have Marie on here from Ireland. Hey, Marla, I see she joined. So you just never know the reach that you may have and who you can touch. And as you're touching someone, what is it that you want them to remember about you?
Yeah.
What is it that you're showing them? And that authenticity piece, I think that that's something that sometimes people are afraid to be their authentic self. And anybody that knows me, oh, you're always going to get MC. You may not know which side of MC that you're going to get, but you're going to get me. It may be the professional side. It may be, oh, I'm fun. It may be me encouraging you and uplifting you. Or it may be the day that I'm coming to you saying, okay, hey, I'm going to tell you something that nobody is probably going to let you know. And I'm going to put it out there. So, just being able to be comfortable to deliver those messages, but staying true to who you are.
Mhm.
That's so amazing. You're so right about all of that. Look, this we wanted to make sure that this podcast was all about MC tonight, right? So we're talking about the next chapter, right? So we
Mhm.
want to hear a little bit about what's coming next. You've gone through all the phases of the get branded, baby. You branded now, okay? So
Mhm.
we want to know what's next. What's in the next chapter? Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on?
Yes, I will touch on that. But before we get into that, one of the things that I wanted to make sure to highlight is those myths that you have to overcome
Mm.
with branding yourself.
Mhm.
And some of those are that whatever it is that you're putting out there that nobody cares, they care. You have to find your tribe. That's why it's so important that whatever you're focused on, that you are focused on that niche and sticking to that group, because you can't take care of everyone. So whatever it is, knowing that you have to focus on just that you're focused on, your specific niche. And that was one of the things that I had to overcome in the beginning, because I was out there for everyone, being there to work with everyone, and you know, being able to overcome the fact that I'm not a very technical person, but I love how Marie had put in the chat as far as Canva being able, to be a great tool that has helped her a lot. And once you start getting into being more visible, there are so many tools that help you show up even better. So getting over in my mind that yes, you are technical, you can do whatever it is that you need to do. And you know, it's hard when you start doing things, because there's always that thing in the back of your head where you're not really trusting yourself, because it's things of your past that you go back to. And for myself, the personal things that I've overcome in my life are things that have led me to do the work that I do, because I have survived domestic abuse, being a divorced single mom, where when I got divorced, I was in a city where I had no support system, family, just me, my kids, and God. But also at that time when that was happening, I was climbing the corporate ladder and giving my all to work. And so that's why the whole disconnection and the burnout is really like something near and dear to my heart, because you don't realize sometimes that you're operating in that mode until you have an opportunity to step back and say, whoa, so being able to be transparent with what you've dealt with in life. Everyone has a story. And I think that sometimes people are afraid to share their story,
Mhm.
but it's your story that gets people interested in who you truly are, because your story may be someone else's story, and your story of how you overcame or how you changed something will be what someone else needs to know that she can make it. So even if you have a whole bunch of things going on personally, you can still achieve things in your professional life, or vice versa. So just being able to be transparent when you're putting yourself out there is also something that really, really helps people learn to trust you and makes a difference in how you really show up. But going back to what you said about what's coming up next. So, I've just been able to have the opportunity to be involved in so many different things, like I said, since really being consistent, focusing on visibility and everything. And one of the things that I am really excited about is I have the opportunity that I am going to be speaking at Sean Fair's Leadership Experience Tour. And it's going to be at the University of Michigan. I am so excited about it. It's going to be a day just full of business insights, personal strategies, personal growth, personal development, motivation, inspiration. And so for anyone who is thinking about wanting to do more for yourself, whether it's personally or in your business, or just strive to be better, I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this event, because there's going to be close to 40 speakers bringing their stories. And so I'm just really excited to be taking the stage, because as we talk about growing and branding and visibility, this is going to be one of the, as I think about the fact that we are expecting over 1,000 attendees, and I get to step on the stage
That's
and
awesome.
share a story that is so personal to me, that really changed the way I think about leadership. So the link is going across the screen. And if you would like to purchase a virtual ticket, I would love to have you join us. But that's coming up. And then in September, as we talk about branding and the visibility, I'm going to be partnering with Jane Aina, and she is actually in Nigeria. And she is someone that I connected with just from being visible, putting, content out there, and we've been able to connect. And she's also a coach that works with women. She's a TV producer as well, like both of you. And so we're going to have a women's conference on September the 13th, and talking about different topics that really impact women. So I'm excited about that coming up. I just hosted a master class last night on the burnout lie for women, because burnout is a lie. Okay, it is a lie.
Hmm.
And so I'll be having, more master classes, but just continuing to stay visible, get involved in as many things as possible, and really be intentional about expansion and growth. So just really excited about what's to come.
I love that. And can you share with
Yes.
everybody, how has your routine changed?
Mm.
Because these opportunities just go into another opportunity and another one. So, what does that look like for you for follow up or just a day in the life? For
Mhm.
these type of things to happen, just shed a little light on that.
Yeah. So one thing, the day in the life, going back to the consistency, I am consistent and intentional about making sure that I'm posting at least 2 to 3 times a day. So that's the first thing in the daily walk, where at first it was like, okay, hey, I'll just put something out there. And no, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent and show up. So that's the one thing. And then when I am attending networking events, like maybe March 2025, I was going somewhere just to be visible and in the room. Now I am intentional about when I step into the room, what I expect to happen. Meaning, before I go somewhere, I'm like, okay, hey, when you leave this event, you have to have made 5 connections, or what have you, because
Mhm.
it's great to go somewhere and make connections, but if you don't have a plan or a strategy in place, how is it going to help you grow your business? So when I attend these networking events, being intentional about making sure I'm following up with you the next day. When I'm at events, making sure that we're connecting and sharing information. And one thing that Lachelle, that I have taken from you is, whenever I connect with someone when I'm at an event, we're snapping a picture, so that when I follow up with you and you forget who Michelle was, here's a reminder, here's a picture of us. So, being intentional about capturing those pictures, but just intentional in the follow up and follow through, and
Mhm.
understanding that every person you come in contact with is someone that can help you and your brand. It may not be
Mhm.
someone that ends up being a potential customer, but it could be something that someone you collaborate with, or someone who may know someone that needs the services that you provide, that gives you a referral or something like that. So really being intentional about those connections that you make, because nothing happens with your business or anything that you're doing without connections. You can't do anything without making those connections and building those
Mhm.
strong relationships.
Love that. I mean, hey, a
Yes.
student well taught.
See,
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Well taught. Well
Living proof,
taught.
living proof.
yes, yes. And then also, one of the things too, just for anyone in a growth season, you have to be willing to invest in yourself.
Mhm.
You have to be willing to invest in yourself, take risk, believe in you. You're enough, you're capable, and just run with it. But you have to invest in yourself and believe that whatever you're focused on, you're going to be able to achieve it, because it's only your assignment. Like, nobody else knows the dreams and the vision and things that I have. So it's up to me to carry those things out. So be willing to invest in yourself, because look what this investment did for me.
I love that. I love that. That is great, great, wise words. I'm telling you.
So,
So share with everybody again the dates of this leadership tour, and
yes.
can they participate virtually? Do you have to come in person? That type of stuff.
So it is Saturday, August the 8th, and virtual tickets are available. And one of the things, like I said, it's going to be a full day full of speakers, great insights. And hey, you're like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing on August 8th. That is just fine, because the replays will be available for a year. So you don't have to miss any session. And you can go back and listen to those wonderful insights that you're going to hear when people take that stage. So I'm just really excited about that opportunity. So would love to have you all join me. Grab a virtual ticket, because I'm telling you, you will not Wherever you're tuning in from, you will not leave the same.
I love that. I
Yes.
love
Got
it.
my ticket. Y'all
I
I
better
know.
did
I
get
too.
yours.
appreciate you all.
I got mine. You better get yours.
That's
Yeah.
right. Get your tickets. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Now, so Anita, share what's coming up for you. We are already at the 30-minute mark, believe it or not. You know.
Wow, wow. Look, we didn't even get a chance. I thought somebody had put a question in the comments, so maybe that was something you all had typed because we got the Q&A popping up, and I didn't know if anybody had any questions. So make sure we don't have any questions in the chat. But
I'm looking.
one of the things that I have coming up here in August, August 1st, actually, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My first producer on my new micro network on Zonda TV Network, Emerge TV Network. Amy Bearden, we're going to be showcasing her. It's going to be her TV premiere. I am so excited about it. She is excited about it. Look, we're just ready to go ahead and get her on out there. It's been a journey, even these few months that we've been working on this. So I'm excited about her sharing her voice and being able to have a platform to encourage people to just have faith in God and just move to the levels that He has called them to move to. She tells a little bit about her personal story, her personal journey, in some of her episodes. So I'm excited for her to just the growth that she has done over these past few months has been amazing, and God is continually to push her, and she's continually to answer the call and take the assignment that He's given her. And I am just so excited about it. I'm ready to get this ball rolling. So make sure that you all click that link. We have a link going across there to go ahead and register. It's free. Go ahead and register and attend. You will get to meet all of the wonderful executive producers. You will get to meet people like Lachelle. She'll be there talking about all the wonderful things she do with TV and digital media, as well as Zandra and all of the other executive producers. So we're going to have a night of just networking, a night of collaboration, a night of celebration. So I'm excited about that. That is August 1st. Again, it's on a Saturday, the first day of August at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come on and celebrate with us.
And an
Love that.
amazing
And
MC.
congratulations.
Yes,
Okay. The
congratulations.
ripples just keep on going. So she
Mhm.
could now has her own micro network. So
Okay.
she's
Love
got
it.
her
Good.
own channel where she can have content creators come and share their insights on her platform. So, so many things have happened as a result, I would say, of being intentional with this journey of getting branded. So many things that I would not have even imagined with different opportunities for leadership for myself within the network, as well as things personally. My family and I were featured on the Portia show. So we have a clip that has been continuing to grow on Instagram. I think now it's like at 91,000 views. So it's just
Awesome.
amazing to be able to see that other people are interested in your journey. I think that's one of the
Mm.
things that I just want to highlight for people is that we think, oh my gosh, I'm not celebrity status, or, I don't have that many followers, or I don't have this, I don't have that. But you never know who you can inspire with your story and your message. So I'm really glad that we were able to be a part of your journey, because you definitely, Michelle, have been just taking this to levels that we didn't even think were even possible in
Okay.
such a
Yes.
short amount of time. You have been
Oh my
focused
God.
and driven and just willing to dive in, to get
Mhm.
uncomfortable, and it is showing up in everything that you're doing. So I just feel honored to have been a part of the journey and looking forward to what comes next. Now, I did get my ticket for the 8th, but I'm going to be in Dallas because we are launching a new show that is going to
All
be
these
on
new
the
shows. I
network.
love it.
Yeah, so it's an
Yes.
hour long, and it is 8 episodes around kingdom principles in business. So the name of the show is Meet Me in the Boardroom, and we talk about how not to compromise in business with Christian values. So really excited. It's something new and different for the network. And but I got my ticket, so I'll be listening to the replays when I get
Well, I
back.
just
Uh,
appreciate both of you, your support, not just with the tickets, but just with everything, because none of the things that I'm engaged in today, none of the connections that I've been able to be introduced and things, none of that would have happened if I didn't take the step to really focus on getting branded, being more visible, and the consistency. So I just appreciate you all more than you know.
Aw, well, we are glad that you took the journey. It just reminds me of doing it scared, right? If you feel that you're scared to do anything with your business or with personal development, just find a friend, find
Yes.
a buddy.
Okay.
Y'all do it together
Just
and
Yeah,
do
knock
it.
right.
that thing on out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Business bestie. That's what we used to call it. Business bestie.
Yeah,
Come on, make
that's
Yes.
that
what you
thing
got to
happen.
do, right?
Mhm.
You got to do
Yes.
it.
Just do
So,
it.
any final thoughts that you want to share, Michelle? This has really been your show. I feel like I'm taking over. Me and Anita, we just asking the questions. You know what I'm
Well, hey, but really, like I was saying before, none of this would have happened without you all in the Get Branded program. So it's great that you have the questions. But no, just, final thought, like I said, how important branding is. But at the end of the day, you are your brand. Be
Mm.
you, be your authentic self. Believe in the gifts that you have, because greatness is within all of us. So, whatever it is that you want to do, you can make it happen. And it doesn't have to be, we're talking about business things, it could be a personal goal. It could just be
Mm.
you saying, hey, I'm going to take this trip, and you make it happen.
Yeah.
So, that's just, my parting words. Just whatever it is that you want to do, I say it all the time, permission granted by
Mm.
you to lead yourself first. Stop waiting on someone's approval, someone to
Mm.
tell
Validation.
you and
Mm.
push you. Just take the step, make a decision, believe in you, and I'm telling you, you will be blown away if you stay consistent on what results you'll be able to see with whatever it is that you're trying to focus on.
Love it. Well, that was awesome. Mic drop. Mic
Oh,
drop.
Okay, that part. I wish I had one. Okay.
I love it. I love it. But
Okay, let's
we
see.
want to thank all of you guys for watching. If you have any questions and you're watching the replay, feel free to put them in the chat because we would love to be able to answer those questions. Many people are in that beginning phase and we are talking ourselves out of stuff. I love the
Mm.
quote that Michael Jordan said, why would I think about missing a shot I haven't taken yet?
hello.
We
Okay.
have to pre we have to do that shift so
Yes.
that we can change our mindset about our thinking and
Mm.
making that positive and
Mm.
being an overcomer and thinking that the sky's the limit. It takes work to do that. So you may be at that point where you are willing to do the work, but you just need a little help. So feel free to put your questions in the chat. Reach out to Michelle. How do they get a hold of you, Michelle?
So you can find me on all the socials at Michelle Clarkson, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Message me. And if you're a woman and you are in a period where you are feeling disconnected or wanting to become a better version of yourself, I would love to talk to you and help you get to the other side.
Love that. All
Mhm.
right, ladies.
This
Well,
has been
as they
great.
say, that's a wrap.
Yes, this has
Thank
been
y'all so
great.
much for watching.
Yes, thanks for
Thank you
joining,
all. Thank
everyone.
you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle.
All right. We'll see y'all the next time.
Everybody.
Okay,
Bye,
bye for
everybody.
now.
Yo.